Alex, do you want to intro us?
I'll die, but okay.
Yeah, give us a deathly intro.
No, I want to see how the same voice that the world exclusive man speaks in. I want you to do that voice.
I don't know if I can do that voice. That is so commanding. I don't know if I can physically do that level of world premiere.
Well, that was really bad. Gamescast.
Yeah, it's the Gamescast.
We're on the Gamescast.
We're on the Gamescast.
Oh fuck! I didn't want to be on the
MSPoweruser
Gamescast.
Gamescast.
Oh, I'm gonna have to censor myself saying that little F word back there because of YouTube regulations.
I was gonna say you're also not allowed to talk about the war either.
The war?
Yeah, don't.
Which
mention the
war?
Because you get like demonetized on YouTube.
The console war?
Just any war. The word war.
Oh, well, we've said it a lot now.
We said it quite a few times.
We gotta mess that one right up,
Star
haven't we?
Wars, the world wars, all the wars. Don't speak about them.
Is there a Star Trek wars?
No.
No?
No.
Oh, what? Oh, my Siri just turned on.
Siri knows something about the Star Trek wars.
Star Trek versus... Wait, shut up! Stop!
This is off to a
Stop it!
second grand start.
Stop it, I hate you.
Yeah, this is going about as well as it usually does.
She's still listening to me. She's like...
She's always listening to you, Lewis. That's her job. That's the only thing she's asked to do.
I said, stop it, I hate you. And she just went, okay. Fuck. Go away! You little robot.
You do realise you just called her a slave in Latin.
Ah, that's what she is. Alright then, carrying on. This is the 6th episode of the MSPoweruser Gamescast, and we watched the Xbox Game Showcase. Maybe. They said they have. We'll find out.
Watch is a strong term.
Yes, well, I was staring at my screen, writing up all the fucking news that was going on. So.
I just took notes. It was quite a nice time.
Oh, good. I didn't take notes.
Oh, god damn it.
I mean, I got a couple, but not many.
You don't need notes. It's all up in your head somewhere.
Yeah, but sometimes it's nice to just know what you wrote in the moment and then say it aloud, as if people were in that moment with you, but later in time.
You're vastly overestimating the power of my head to think you can remember things.
So, Alex, you didn't watch the pre-show.
No, I didn't know there was one.
I watched the pre-show. Phil was there while I was watching the pre-show.
I was aware there was a pre-show. I was.
You caught the end of it, didn't you?
Oh yeah, I did actually watch like a tiny little bit of the pre-show. Yeah, are we talking about the pre-show?
We'll start talking about the
Right,
pre-show.
talking about the pre-show. Okay.
Dragon Quest XI's Echoes of an Elusive Age Definitive Edition was announced for Xbox One and Windows and Xbox Game Pass.
What's definitive about it?
I got an email, so I've actually got it open.
Emails are the most effective way of communicating,
Well, what's an even better way of communicating it is me reading that email to YouTube.
Ooh.
Yeah.
It's a press release time.
It is, but I'm not going to read the whole thing because they're boring, so I'll just read the clip
I don't know why I
notes.
said a press release time. Like, it's a press release time as if it's Mario or something, but carry on.
New side quests. There's a retro 2D mode, so you can play the entire game like an SNES game.
Oh, a shizzle. See, I was going to say the other word there, but YouTube.
No, you can say it now. We're 4 minutes in.
Alright, shit. Oh, shit.
Ah, fuck.
2D modes?
Yeah. You can play it like one of those old games, Phil. Like one of those ones that makes you happy. Makes you feel young.
Nothing makes me happy.
You can go to the 16-bit world of Tickington, which has even more side quests in the retro style, and you can go to past Dragon Quest worlds. There's Japanese audio. There's a fully orchestrated soundtrack because the original Dragon Quest XI launched with just MIDI because the composer's a right cock. He's also an anti-Nan King. He doesn't believe in it. It happened. There's footage.
An anti what?
Nan King?
I'm lost.
Okay, so during World War II, we'll get back to games.
Okay, remember when we said we shouldn't talk about the war?
We're getting straight into talking about
Right into the war. During World
The first two things we've done are swear and talk about the war.
Well, we fuck with the war, don't we? So during World War II, Japan invaded China. There was a village called Nanking, and they murdered and raped a bunch of people. And Japan says it didn't happen when there's footage of it happening.
Oh, right, I see.
It happened.
Okay, yeah, that's quite dark. Let's start talking about mythical, medieval Japanese people fighting blobs.
Well, there's also a photo mode.
It's Dragon Quest.
There's a photo mode.
There's a photo mode, okay.
Yeah.
Just like Nanking.
Well, yeah, there were photos of Nanking. It happened. I've seen them.
So what else came along in the pre-show, Lewis?
Well, I just wanted to say before we move on that the Dragon Quest thing, it's pretty much the Switch version that came out, and everyone was like, well, this should have been the version that came out originally and didn't. But it is, it looks nicer because it's not on the Switch. Yeah. And also it's in Game Pass. Next, there was a game called Exomecha, which is a game I didn't care about, but it was a first-person shooter with big robots.
That sounds like something you should care about. You like the big robots.
Oh, I love big robots, but I was looking at that like, I do not care about
How big
whatever
are
you're
the
showing
robots, though? How big?
They were huge! Big
What constitutes
robots.
as huge?
What, bigger than me?
Tell me what size they are in Costa standard sizing cup measurements.
How many inches is that?
I don't know. Is it a
I
grande?
only-
Is it a...
I only know measurements of inches. This was at least 4,000 inches.
4,000 inches? I don't think I
Yeah.
have a tape measure that big.
I do, but I'd have to drag it in here. Yeah. With two people. Maybe 3. Then they announced Hello Neighbor 2. I didn't care about this because Hello Neighbor's a garbage game. But
Yeah.
I was watching the trailer and noticed that there was ray-traced reflections in the puddle.
I don't think that makes it good.
No,
I
it'll still
have
be bad.
Never played Hello Neighbor.
I played it twice for 2 different reviews, and the second review got a lower score because it was like the first review, but it ran worse.
Please explain to me the concept of Hello Neighbor.
You're a tiny child, and your neighbor has a mustache, and that's bad.
It did have a very interesting concept when it first came out, like because I was given lots of emails about it because apparently that's a thing that happens now.
If it's from
And
Tiny
they said,
Building,
like,
yeah.
Yeah, they said like, oh, it's meant to learn from you and like stop you playing the same way if you die, basically. And that basically never happened in the real game.
Yeah, also...
it just turned into like a weird platforming funhouse stealth game, but with really janky stealth.
And also, it got worse over time.
Yes,
Like,
some of the early alpha builds were pretty fun, like interesting. The more the game went on, the worse it got.
Like, how do you just make it... the levels were less interesting? You had the old levels.
Yeah.
We played them. And then there was a game called Balan Wonder World, which is made by the 2 people who made Sonic the Hedgehog and Nights into Dreams. And it was very confusing, but it was pretty.
You forgot the most important game in that sort of legacy of creation from that studio.
Virtua Fire.
Billy Hatcher.
Billy Hatcher and his big egg.
And his massive head.
But that was the pre-show.
That was the pre-show.
Sounds
yeah,
like a
I mean,
hoot.
I don't know why they were dropping reveals or,
Well, they dropped most of
exclusives.
their indie stuff. So in every Xbox E3, they have like this like half an hour section of indie games. And like they show their ID at Xbox like sizzle reel. And they just did all of that before the show on a different thing, so people wouldn't complain about it.
Yeah, it just seems... I mean, now I'm complaining that they didn't put it in the actual show, to be honest.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I had no idea it existed, and I'm usually all about the indie stuff.
Yeah.
Well,
They
you
yeah,
can
they shoved it
review
on the
Hello
Game
Neighbor
Awards thing.
too.
Oh, no, please.
But now we can get into the Xbox Games Showcase, if that's still what it's called. Let me scroll up. Yes,
Yes.
it is. And it was available in Dutch, Portuguese, Polish, Spanish, Italian, that might be Korean, that could be Chinese, Russian, Arabic, French, English, Spanish LATAM, that could be Chinese, could be Japanese, and that's it. It was available in all of those languages.
All of those languages.
Oh, and American Sign Language. Oh, and audio descriptive.
They're really going all out with the languages.
Yeah. How many languages were in your PlayStation 5 reveal, Sony? Don't know. Didn't check.
Just don't know.
Could have been the same amount.
It's almost like MSPoweruser is biased.
No. Maybe a little bit. Well, you know, PlayStation don't have Halo, so...
We're going back to that grand old question of what does the MS stand for?
We're the master of science, aren't we?
I thought it was
Master
Mega
of
Slut.
Science Power User. What?
I thought it was Mega Slut.
No.
No? No. What am I doing here?
And you're supposed to be the editor of this.
No, just the gaming editor. I don't know what they get
Section
onto
of
at the
site.
Mega Slut section. Who wants to talk about Halo Infinite?
It was the big master chef running around a seemingly open world.
I believe they are. So, you played Combat Evolved, right? Alex hasn't because he's a loser.
No, I've not played any of them. I'm a bad gamer.
Yeah, but you will be because you've got Game Pass now.
I do.
Yes.
'Cause this big ass laptop, boy.
What laptop are you using?
None at the moment because it's big and it scares me. But the ROG Zephyrus 2.
Yeah, that is a big chungus.
He's a hefty boy.
And he'll play Halo Combat Evolved in good things, resolutions,
so.
and frame rates.
If I was to read
This
out the
game
name
from
of that-
2001.
If I was to read out the name of that particular range of laptops from Asus, I would probably have just said ROG.
The ROGs, yeah.
Big
The
ROG.
Asus,
Yeah,
the
big
Asus
laptop.
ROG.
It's a big ROG.
But, Alex, we got to talk about Halo Infinite because that's their big game.
It does look good, although I was very confused. For a master chef, the only thing he cooked was grenades.
Boom.
Thank you.
Oh! I
Right,
hated
Lewis,
every-
I think you
I
should
knew
pretty
where that
much-
was going.
I think we should just tear into the meat and bones of this because we know you're the Halo aficionado. So to
Well,
speak.
I would like to preface this by saying, while it was happening, I was paying very little attention because I was trying to write down what was happening. So, before the podcast, I did watch it again, twice.
Okay.
And I must say, it looks very good.
There was only one thing I thought that didn't look good in it.
Was it the brute right at the end of the trailer who was really badly modeled?
I mean, there was some strange texture stuff on armors, but it was the flying ships that were going around, like the drop ships or whatever they were,
Yes.
had really janky movement.
Yes.
They were just going point to point to point to point to point, and I'm just like,
Well, there was...
in
but
your
there was,
showcase,
there was
wouldn't
one...
you just fix that?
There was one that doesn't move like the rest. Like, there was one that was really smooth, which was about,
Yeah.
like, halfway through the thing. So I don't know if it's just a bug that they have.
Maybe.
Because
But I was like,
I noticed quite a few, like, little technical things, like, off in the background as well, where, like, there's some pop-in and,
Yeah.
like
physics things not moving right. But judging from, like, Halo 4 and 5, that should be fixed.
yeah, for that to be like the only thing I sort of saw as not good, it looks pretty good.
He has a grappling hook now.
He does. Grappling hooks make games better. That's a
And also...
undeniable fact.
used in a way that isn't just you have a grappling hook. The grappling hook
Yeah.
has multiple uses.
other than I want to get up that big high wall.
Yeah, but you can get up that big high wall.
That's always a plus.
Yeah, but you can also let's have a look. What have I got written down? you can grab some little shy enemies and you can pull them towards you or pull yourself towards them. I don't remember which one's which. I mean, I know which one's the direction. I just don't remember. I don't remember which one he does in the game. And he grapple hooks a explosive barrel towards himself so he can pick it up and launch it at people. And that's what I've wanted to do my entire life, really.
I mean, how many explosive barrels do you come across in your day-to-day?
Oh, all the time. I live in
All the
Stoke.
time. Just walking down bloody Stoke-on-Trent, and you're like, there's a barrel that explodes.
They leave them outside the local chippy. Pretty sure they fry the fish in them.
That's fair.
Yeah. What else was in this Halo thing? There was Master Chief looking sexy. I ship him with the pilot. Because
he also looks very good. When he got oil on his face, that was some high quality greasy oil, I thought.
Is this a thing that happened that I missed?
Yeah, he got like a smear of oil or something on his face after the big old crash.
Oh,
and it just looked like.
Sorry, I thought you were
really
talking about
good.
explosive barrel oil, like frying fish
Oh
in.
no!
And I was like, what?
That would be very greasy.
Especially if
Like
it's
you
from
put too much
the
beard
local
oil on or
chippy.
something.
You know, I've got beard oil, but I don't like using it. It makes me feel greasy.
Is it just chip fry oil?
This,
Just go down to the local chippy and just dab it on yourself.
Use some oil,
Well.
please.
well, I mean, Alex, the local chippy that we used to go to on my road. Like, if you bought like a single chip from there, you could probably fry an entire breakfast in it. Fucking gross place.
They did have paws. That's something the pilot had as well. He had some good paws.
He does.
I thought.
Master Chief didn't notice any paws on his helmet, so maybe
No,
that's
very
where they're
disappointed.
saving on the render budget right there.
There was no visible sweat on his helmet, and that's just not gamer.
Not gamer.
The guns looked interesting. Some of them are like massive redesigns of Halo weapons, or at least they look
The
like.
shotguns looked so meaty. I was very excited.
Yeah, but it doesn't look like the Halo shotgun, Alex. We're not going to get into that one.
But they look meaty.
That's the one I didn't like. That's the one gun where I looked at and went,
I specifically wrote down chunky, and I'm excited about it.
well, you better play this day one on bloody Game Pass, Alex.
I will. It's a Game Pass.
Oh, I bet
Pass.
it'll run real nice on that Zephyrus if you don't have to send it back.
Yeah.
Or you go on the run with it.
We can dream.
So Halo Infinite, I think, looks very good. We'll see more of it later on in the year, along with a release date. That is probably definitely November 13th.
Is that when the console's supposedly coming out?
Well, that's when Yakuza 7 is launching for Xbox, and that
okay.
is a Series X launch title, and they haven't taken down the website yet.
Well, you heard it here first.
After Halo came State of Decay 3.
That looked really good. It's another
Was
ridiculously good-looking one. They had more paws. There's good paws in this one.
blood looked nice.
Yes, the blood in the snow looks so good.
Yeah. Was there a zombie bear? Do I remember that?
There was a
it
zombie
was a
bear.
deer, I think.
Let me have a
or
look.
something?
I got the trailer.
I do feel
Yeah.
like
Oh,
they've
it is a zombie deer. Oh, that's terrifying.
zombie deer
Yeah.
or zombie bear?
Deer
Oh, deer. I thought you said bear.
could be a doe.
I'm sure there's a horror film about a zombie bear.
Oh, most
I'd watch it.
definitely. Do you think you could send a message to the horror fanatic that you date, and then we can find out if there's a movie about a zombie bear?
The horror fanatic that I date. Sure.
Yeah. Sorry, I
is,
was looking at
the
this
film-
zombie deer.
The film
And I
was
was-
called Annihilation. I've just looked it up.
Was that a
yes, that's
zombie?
There's like a mutant bear in it that has half a skull face.
Well, that's pretty sick.
That's quite zombie.
It's quite zombie. That's
I-
quite zombie.
I got halfway through that movie, and then I think I had to take a big shit and just went to bed afterwards.
To be fair, I liked the first thing Google hit me with there when I typed in zombie bear horror film with Zombievers, which has its own theme song.
Oh, we'll have to listen to that later.
Zombievers. It goes like that. It's like a swing song. It's weird.
Oh my god, all of the fucking thumbnails for these trailers, by the way, have that hideous optimized for Xbox Series X badge in the corner.
Yeah.
Optimized.
Next was probably the most beautiful thing I've ever seen in my life.
I wasn't on the stream. What are you talking about?
Alex! You completely muddled my train of thought there. I had to completely, reevaluate what you said so that I could respond in this way, which obviously makes it obvious that I don't have a response to that.
Well, it's true. There are some very pretty cars, though.
Yes, because Forza, since Gran Turismo decided that they were sometimes going to release games, Forza's been the series that has kicked them up the arse, really. And we saw Gran Turismo 7 at the PS5 thing, and it looked pretty sweet. But this probably blew my dick off.
It's got 60 FPS ray-traced reflections.
Ugh.
And it looks so good.
I'm still, honestly, I am still just paining for some sort of Burnout style game. And
Criterion are making the new Need for Speeds now, so we might get a bit more burnout.
I want something like Burnout. I don't know.
What about Dangerous Driving 2, which is made by the old Burnout crew?
I mean, I need something on my big boy console reveal trailers, to be honest.
Oh, well, they don't have that, but I'm watching this Forza trailer, and I think I have a semi.
You think?
Well, I'm not touching it.
You not tell unless you're hands on.
It's got to get some hands-on gameplay.
I have nerve damage from my RSI.
Fair.
Goes down to my lower
I don't have
back.
a response for that, to be fair.
Oh, Alex, these cars look so good.
They do. They chose a very ugly car to show off.
I don't think
But
this game could make any car look ugly.
it does look incredible.
Oh.
I'm very surprised they're able to do ray tracing at 60 FPS in a racing game as well, because those are usually pretty quick to chug a lug.
Yeah, especially depending on how many cars they have on screen at once, all of them being reflected off. Gonna watch that trailer again. But,
And also just the rest of it is very well detailed. There's a lot of interesting textures.
Well, I believe one of the first bits of information. Oh god, that road looks so good. One of the first pieces of information we got of power for PS5 versus Xbox Series X is that because both of these consoles have dedicated ray tracing hardware inside them. Microsoft have more, they can generate more giga rays, whatever the hell that means. But also, they do have a software advantage because the Xbox Series X uses DirectX ray tracing that everybody is getting used to developing for anyways. Whereas I imagine the PS5 uses its own version of ray tracing.
Yeah.
So, it's going to be a little fucky-wucky.
I think obviously Microsoft works with Microsoft to put things on Windows.
Yeah.
But I think we're going to see a lot more PC, Xbox combined stuff rather than explicitly PS5 and PC without it having a lot more development behind it.
I think so. Usually whenever there's some sort of major progression with DirectX or some sort of, something to make it more accessible or give you a whole load of new tools, usually you just see every sort of developer rush towards that, and it sort of creates its own ecosystem bubble, if that makes sense. That starts to become the standard, and that's when you do start to see consoles sort of suffer off a little bit themselves and have to sort of work things out themselves without necessarily being close to what the PC is achieving historically. I mean.
Yeah, this generation, I believe Xbox would have been absolutely shafted if they didn't completely redesign their console backend to support DirectX 12.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The growth that we saw from Forza 6 and Forza 7 was insane and I don't think that would have been able to be pulled off at all if it wasn't for upgrading DirectX.
Which it seems really silly considering the whole Xbox concept was like, founded on the idea of using DirectX.
Direct Xbox?
Direct Xbox.
Stupid name. Can you imagine if they released that? The Microsoft Direct Xbox? Oh, God.
Direct
Steve
Xbox.
Ballmer would have had to hang himself. We got you by the balls, Ballmer. Marketing's up shit creek.
But on the subject of basically Xbox and PlayStation doing drastically different things, I do feel like this generation is going to be finally the generation we see kind of a split again between two different types of sort of platform gaming, if that makes sense.
You silly bastard. They're both going to have a 4K copy of Split. I might cut that out. That was so bad.
That was really bad. You're going to have to get the editing knife out for this one, Lewis.
Oh, will I? Will people listen this far?
There's some stuff at the beginning as well you're going to need to get the editing knife out for.
Oh, God damn it.
You got your work cut out for
Do you want to count yourself back in?
3, 2, 1, go. Don't. I hope you didn't stop recording.
No.
Not again. I can't stop playing this Forza trailer.
It looks so good.
Why does it look so good?
Ray tracing.
Oh, I like it. I like it a lot. This
But
car.
do you know what else looks?
This car.
Don't know.
It looks more real than cars I've seen in real life.
Well, you need to see more cars.
That car has like a vagina on the back of it. What the fuck?
It does. It's very strangely designed.
Why does that-
blame Saudi Arabia? I think.
Why does that car have 3 vaginas?
It needs a lot of man. I don't
I
know.
wasn't paying enough attention to this Forza trailer, and I
Yeah.
have no idea what
It's very realistic.
Go to 43 on the little timeline there. The seconds, not cars.
I don't know how a car having 3 vaginas is like realistic, but
Well, it is
It means
based
more
off of
speed.
it is,
That's how cars work.
it is based off a real car that has 3 vaginas.
oh right, I see. I must have missed that important development in motorsport.
They clone Ron Jeremy's to bang the cars, and that gives it more horsepower.
Come on.
The next game on the list of games, I believe, I'm going through the trailers list on the Xbox channel because I didn't write them down.
Right.
But Everwild.
Yes.
Oh,
It looks very good.
oh.
Is Everwild the one where they had the big friendly-looking dog animal that used its tail to take down a tree?
Yes.
Yes.
It was so
That
fluffy.
was very fluffy. Can you tell that was the one thing that stuck in my head throughout this whole bloody event? Was the big fluffy dog monster that can take down trees with its tail.
What about
I love
what about
looks so
the
good.
word Xbox?
No, it's not. It's not up there. It's not in my head.
Sometimes I forget it too.
The
Oh.
thing, the black, the rectangle-shaped thing that sits over there.
Over where?
Over where?
Over
there?
where? Ah,
Over there.
not over there. Over here.
Over here? What?
What?
It's gonna be over here because you can't play it with your gammy busted hands.
Oh, you fuck! Before today's work, my hands felt so good. Now I feel like I've gone back 3 months. Anyway, this game looks so beautiful, and I have no idea what you do in it.
No, I know. It's one of those really ominous sort of. Here is a place. Here is creatures. Here is a character. What do you do? I don't know. It's bug snacks all over again.
I like that big frog thing in the lake that threw up a bunch of big old
Just
tadpoles.
vomited fish. It was very good. I mean, I'm very excited to play it, and I can only think, like, the only thing I'm worried about is how it's going to look when you have to play it with, like, a HUD and everything. Because seeing it without any, like, information just looks really cool.
You could put some tape
But
on
when
the
it's-
screen where the HUD is, and then you don't have a HUD.
But it seems like from the way they talk about, like, finding the flow of the world and following magic, It's going to be like, how are you going to communicate that to people without just having detective vision from like the Hitman games or Batman games? That is just going to be like, why would I ever turn this off?
Oh, like in The Witcher 3, where everything you do pretty much revolves around using Geralt's like Witcher senses.
Yeah, where it's like, I want to be able to enjoy the world, not just look at it through a negative filter to see the magic.
No release date on Everwild.
I'd probably guess 2021.
Yeah, 21
because
or 22.
that's the next year. I'd assume it would be late 21 if it's going to be.
Yeah, a little
Soon.
holiday surprise for everyone.
Yeah.
The next game was Tell Me Why by Don't Nod. This is this the game that they announced a while back with a transsexual protagonist? I don't quite remember. I feel like they announced one like that, but
What's this
I
one
don't
called
remember.
again?
Tell Me Why?
Tell me why.
Tell me why. The only thing I could think of when I was watching it. I would if I knew the words.
Yeah, I don't know the words either. Ain't nothing but a... No, it's fine.
As far as we can get.
Yes, it is. It is. This is. Don't Nod and Xbox teamed up for this game in about mid 2019, and the protagonist is a trans character, Tyler Ronan and his twin sister Allison, as they explore childhood memories through their supernatural bond to uncover the mysteries of their past.
I feel like we've been... I don't know about anyone. I don't know if I've missed a trick with games, but I feel like we've been waiting for proper trans representation as like a frontline character. And
There was one like smaller scale game back in 2018 by Swery that was really good, but he's recently fucked this up, hasn't he?
Wow, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, he really has then in that case.
Yeah, well, this game that he made, The Missing, and it was like J.J. Maxfield. So, give me a sec. I'll get the full title up. But that was a really good like game for representation, and it also had it was worked on with a lot of consultants as well, which is new. His new game hasn't, and a lot of problems have come from that. It's called The Missing, J.J. Maxfield and the Island of Memories, and I would suggest giving it a go. It's a really... the gameplay is a bit wonky because it's made by Swery, but the story was very touching.
Yeah. But it's... Since this is something that has been like showcased on like Xbox's main like sort of reveal show platform, it feels like, I can't believe it's 2020 and it took us till now to actually get to this stage.
Yeah, I think that's for a lot of entertainment as well.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, but at least we're now starting to see things, some frontline characters emerge. That's really good. Just having a look at this game, I've never played Life is Strange, and I'm guessing maybe the mechanics are going to be similar?
No idea.
It did look... I thought at first it was like Life is Strange coming to Xbox before it was...
It's definitely got the same visual style.
Yeah.
Yes. It was a nice visual style, but no pause.
No pause? Give me a second.
There were no pause on these people. They had very...
I gotta get it into a close-up. If there's no
faces.
pause, how can they release this video game?
I know. There's no sweat. There's no pause.
Alex,
is it even next gen?
I want to call you a lying bitch.
Are there a pause?
I'm looking right at...
I couldn't see any pause.
I'm looking right at this person. I've got a full screen on my iPad, right? And while the pause aren't very prominent, there are little pores and little freckles and stuff on the skin. So little skin
I may have been
imperfections.
watching it in 720p, so that may have not helped things.
It's okay. The game, the live stream was ass.
Yeah.
It's got a lot of dislikes. I wonder why. Maybe because people are hateful, spiteful little shits.
What? Gamers being awful? Never.
I'm surprised. Lies. So yeah, Don't Nod's games have been pretty good. I didn't play Life is Strange 2, but people who have played it said that it was very good.
I haven't played any of them. I'm going to have to actually make some time in my life to experience them.
Well, people told me that if I finished the last episode of the first Life is Strange, I'd be sad, so I never did. You know, like when people like, oh, you have no idea what's coming to you, and like they start like hyping it up. I decided to get back at them by just never finishing it.
Yeah. I like when someone harps on at me to play a game and I just decide I'm never going to do it.
Why haven't you played Adventure on the Atari 2600?
Unfortunately, I have.
Dog shit.
Well, I mean, like most of the Atari 2600 library.
I got in shit for this. I was on a podcast called Digital Diaries, and the only thing I had played at that point was like for the week, because we were talking about what we had been playing this week. The only thing that I had played was the Evercade, and I was talking about how I'd been playing Atari 2600 games, and I said they're all shit. They're all really bad.
They are, though. Like,
but I was surrounded by a bunch of old people. They were like, "Oh, I grew up." Yeah, like 45. Phil.
I was gonna say, I thought you were gonna say 30, and I was gonna get really annoyed.
No, they're like 29.
I mean, fair enough. This is slightly off tangent, but I feel like we need to address it now that you've brought it up. Yes, Atari 2600 games, for the most part, are dog shit.
Yeah.
And it doesn't matter how much you love old retro stuff. I mean, I love the console itself, and I love the experience of sort of hooking up the games and having a bit of a laugh with them, but you wouldn't sit down and seriously go, I'm going to play hours of this.
Unless you're like a retro YouTuber that desperately wants people to know that your childhood was the best. Sat in front of a screen that was slowly irradiating you, surrounded by red lead paint.
Having a munch on some asbestos.
This is the same people who don't wear masks because they think they're going to become like bigger, faster, and stronger if they don't.
No,
The asbestos protects them. It's still in their lungs.
They just cover themselves with Atari 2600 games.
The old polio didn't hurt me. Neither did Adventure.
If you get through Adventure, you can get through anything. It's the way the world works.
I don't think anyone can seriously play Pac-Man on the 2600 and then say, yeah, that was a great experience. I once gave myself a migraine actually trying to play that.
Oh, not a Scottish migraine. They're worse than normal migraines.
Yeah, exactly. The Scottish migraines are worse than normal.
What's the difference?
Yeah, a lot of swearing.
I'm not safe for TV, Scottish migraine.
Not safe for TV, not safe for work, Scottish migraine.
Not safe for the first 2.5 minutes of a YouTube video, apparently.
Don't mention the war.
Not safe for Nanking.
Not again.
The next game comes out the end of this month, which means somebody, Alex, is going to be writing about it.
Sick.
Grounded by Obsidian is a game that you've actually played and did it.
Yeah, I played the...
You didn't write about it,
demo.
did you, Alex?
No, but I played the demo. It was, This is going to be my excuse. I may not have written about it, but we have a podcast now.
Oh, you were prepared.
It's here. This is the long con. It's actually very fun. It's like a better Rust, basically.
Oh, Rust is shit, so that's nice to know.
Yeah, it's like...
a better version of shit.
You
Yeah, but
can
it's actually
polish
good.
it.
Yeah. Because, like, Rust is survival genre type stuff, but it's super janky. But this is like, somebody put effort into a video game.
And you fight ladybugs.
Yeah, and spiders. And when I first saw them, I nearly shit myself. I had to have a lie down. They're fucking huge.
They are massive.
I was like, no, not dealing with this.
They're like at least more than 60 inches.
Lewis,
Although not really, because...
Where do you get
Technically,
your
they're
concept
just
of
like 2 inches, but everyone else is very small.
What do you mean, Phil?
I just want to see how you measure things. That's all.
What I do is I get my thumb, right, and then I put my
And you
thumb
get
at
your
the
index finger, and you just sort of squint.
I put my thumb at the bottom of a thing, right, and then I say 1, and then where the top of my thumb is, I put the bottom of my thumb, and then I go 2, and then I count it and how many thumbs it is, and then I use a special maths conversion to convert that into inches.
And you know what? I bet that's still more accurate than any imperial measurement ever.
Ah, sure. I know those ones. Okay, they announced the official campaign reveal trailer for Crossfire X, which is made by Remedy Entertainment.
Remedy?
Yeah.
They did. I don't know what that game is.
Well,
it looks like futuristic shooty mans, and that's okay.
Well, you see, we have a preview of Crossfire X on MSPoweruser
Oh, I've definitely read that.
for the multiplayer, which is a
Oh.
long-running Chinese free-to-play multiplayer game
Oh,
that
okay.
Xbox are bringing over to the West for Xbox consoles. The multiplayer is apparently a little bit garbo, but that campaign looked awesome.
It looked very almost Crisis,
Yeah, it
and that's good in my book.
looked like a fun Call of Duty.
Yeah.
Just to quote the MSPoweruser article,
Yeah.
a lackluster Xbox exclusive that could surprise in its campaign.
And it does surprise in its
Oh.
campaign trailer.
Consider us surprised.
I'm surprised. That was the sound I made when I was surprised.
That's a proper surprise, sorry.
I'm just going to pull random lines from this article. There's something
Alright.
quite ridiculous in trying to fight an opponent you could barely see. Watching my teammates shoot frantically into the corners of the room just in case was hilarious.
This game sounds great. I'm actually quite excited
Scroll
now.
down a little bit. Let's just see what else we can find.
No, I didn't write this one, just so you know. This was written by
Oh, I just
Tom
realised
Innes.
you didn't. I was gonna try and like.
If I called something shit, I'd be calling it shit, alright? I don't beat around the bush.
Well, that's what was it you put in that article earlier?
Oh, about the children. Little tiny baby loser children or some shit like that.
No, you went back and fixed it so that, in hopes that maybe that that bot on Twitter that pumps out the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles sort of rhymes.
Alright, I found it. No, I didn't. Never mind. Where is it, you fuck? I'm talking to myself.
Such a professional podcast.
I'm talking to my iPad. It doesn't do what I want it to. So, Alex, Battletoads and Age of Empires got an age rating in Australia, which, curiously, they weren't shown today at all.
Okay, like a new Battletoads. They're not just releasing Battletoads in Australia.
No. It's a new Battletoads game. They announced it like 2 years ago, but they didn't show it today. And Age of Empires 3 is a remaster of it.
Yeah.
And not a remaster of Battletoads. Remaster of
That would
Age
be
of
weird.
Empires. And they both got granted PG ratings, right?
Uh-huh.
And so I wrote, because I had to fill a word count. That's a professional insight for all the listeners. Both games have been granted PG ratings. Parental guidance for any tiny little loser children that are reading, meaning that any immature baby gamers are going to need a parent backseat gaming behind them. They won't though. Parents do not care. And we've got one comment. Tiny loser children.
I mean, the professionalism in your writing never fails to astound me, Mr. White.
I used an M dash.
Used an M dash.
I did. I used two to separate a clause.
Love it.
Thank you.
Tiny little loser children.
Tiny little loser children.
But yeah.
Do you got the third line? Because don't they do a...
Yeah, I don't know what you would say. Tiny little children. Losers.
Next up is Phantasy Star Online 2. There's an expansion. It's got like an open world. It's still not out in Europe. They can fuck themselves.
What? Wait.
It looked anime.
Oh,
It's
dude.
still not.
You are not making me play
Is
it.
that trailer not saying it's coming to?
It's out in America.
Oh right, sorry. Yes, it's out.
Yeah.
So
So what
trailer
you
was
can
out.
do is you can switch your Xbox to America, download the game, switch back to Europe, and play it.
Oh wow, okay. I totally forgot there was even like a Phantasy Star Online game still running.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
It looked like. I mean, I used to play Phantasy Star Online on the GameCube of all things with a bloody broadband adapter.
I fucking love that game so much.
Such a good game. Such
It
fond
is.
memories of my childhood.
Oh yeah, because there would be hackers that would get rid of the swearing filter and call you a cunt.
Exactly.
And that I believe that was the first place where I saw that word written down.
Just
And
the
when,
It changed your life
Just
forever.
the
Yeah.
cute speech bubble popping up, just like you're a cunt.
yeah, but like Fantasy Star Online has like a really really crap font for like speech bubbles.
Yeah,
so
does it not kind of look like almost like what you would expect to see on the front of your like video player display, like your VCR?
yeah,
Yeah, it's something like that. I
it's
vaguely
like
remember.
LCD font.
Yeah. God.
Yeah, he just called me a cunt because everyone was hacking by the time I was playing that. So that was nice. The Medium got a new trailer. Did you guys see that one? I hope you did because
I
we're going to
did.
talk about it.
We're watching the same thing.
It was
Oh!
very silent hilly.
Well,
How's it
the soundtrack is by Akira Yamaoka.
Again, very silent hilly.
Yes, it's like they wanted to make a Silent Hill game, but didn't want to ask Konami for the rights. Even though Konami probably just would have gone, yeah, there you go.
To be fair, I think that every developer should just take everything that Konami's ever done and just go, you know what, we're going to make this and not ask you for the rights.
Yeah, just like cut out Konami,
bloody-
and then when they're like, no, it's just like, yeah, just don't listen to them.
Yeah, and
I'm
if
saying
they
that
try
as
and if they try and take them to court, they should just laugh at them.
I like how I'm saying that as if this hasn't already happened. Like, Bloodstained happened. That was a thing.
Yeah,
Oh yeah.
Bloodstained and now Silent Hill. Do you think this is going to be a Silent Hill 3, or do you think this is going to be a Silent Hill downpour?
I just think it's just going to be your Silent Hill. Your Silent Hill.
I think it's going
Standard
to be
Silent
on
Hill
the
affair.
quality of Silent Hill 4 The Room.
No, let's not.
Why? As in, like, it's going to be worse, or it's going to be better?
Let's just not discuss Silent Hill for the Room is what I was getting at.
Oh, but I own it on Xbox.
The
Um,
Room.
Something interesting about this, which wasn't in the trailer, is their dual universe gameplay, which has two worlds rendering simultaneously. This is something that they've patented,
Oh.
which can fuck off, in my opinion. Like
Which is
patenting
weird.
a gameplay idea.
Which is weird
Yeah,
because
that's
if they've
pretty-
patented that, if it works the way I think it works, then does that not mean that what Halo does with its switching back and forth from retro and new graphics is technically now not allowed to be used?
Oh, let's say no.
Because that's technically you're switching between two. Because that's all it looked like really is like texture swapping. Really is what it looked like.
No, I don't know because there's like different mechanics for both different worlds.
No, well, yeah, you can add like ability mechanics, but you've still got the
Is
same.
this like it's Guacamelee, isn't it?
What?
Guacamelee. Do you remember Guacamelee?
I remember Guacamelee, but what about it?
Well, you would switch worlds, like, because like some worlds have things that you can do in them, but like you do it on the fly. So like each screen had like a dark world, like a low rule alternative that had
God.
progress.
I'm actually forgetting about the most important game that did that.
Link to the Past.
No. Well, yeah, actually. But, no, Soul Reaver. Legacy of Kain.
Yeah, you can't patent something that's already been done.
Yeah, that's it.
I mean, Titanfall 2 had the level of.
Oh yeah, but they're not rendered at the same time. They just
switching.
called in really.
But that's
fast.
the thing, like doing it rendered in real time. I don't know how. Obviously, like it's a good thing to do if you have the power to do it.
Yeah.
But I don't know how vital it is to just be like, now there's no pop-in victory, or if it's just like, no, this is proper.
What if they're like,
Change
now
the
we can have
landscape of
more
gaming.
pop-in? We've patented this technology to get more pop-in on your console.
Patented extra
Not
pop-in,
quite understanding.
just so nobody else has to deal with it.
What were you going to say, Phil?
I just said they don't quite understand what popping is. They think it's like a cool hip phrase or something. Our game needs
Popping
more
and locking.
popping.
I'm pretty sure Fortnite got to popping and locking first, Bluebird. Next up was The Gunk.
What?
Oh, that's what it was called. I didn't write it down.
The Gunk. It's from the creators of SteamWorld. This game
yes.
looked really nice.
The one that when she started sucking up the gunk, I thought, this reminds me of like...
Sucking?
Sucking. That's me and my Scottishness coming out. Let's not go too far into the word sucking now. Yeah, I don't know. Something about it reminded me of like she was cleaning up all the muck. It was like Super Mario Sunshine or something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, the game looks phenomenal. Like, not gameplay wise. Gameplay wise, it looks fine, but visually, it looks stunning.
I mean, gameplay wise, it was one of those things where I couldn't quite get a grasp on what it was. Anyway, to be fair.
Oh, it's a 3D platformer where you suck things. Just go around sucking everything.
do you know?
Bit of suck here, bit of suck there. Here a suck, there a suck. Everywhere a suck.
I didn't think it looked that good. I'm going to be controversial here.
Oh, get out.
But I think that's because the live stream was shit.
Yes, the live
And it
stream was
just,
very
like,
bad.
I'll have to watch the trailer, but I imagine if you can play that in 4K 60 on the Series X, then it's going to look very good.
Play it in something.
Oh, I hope so.
I didn't. This was one of the games where, like, when the name comes up, you're like, I really didn't expect it to just be called The Gunk.
Yeah.
I wish I could name something like that. Should we just call it this the Gunk Cast from now on? MSPoweruser Gamescast.
Gunge.
Gunge.
Yeah, let's go for gunge.
What about grunge?
Grunge cat on now, but then we need to start talking about good music.
Oh, controversial. Not really. The Tetris Effect is coming to Xbox.
That was quite weird.
Yes.
I thought Tetris Effect was more of a VR game.
It is, but there's also a non-VR version.
Alright, okay.
I mean, it's the entire game. It's just you're not in VR because Xbox doesn't
Apparently
want to do
it's-
VR.
Right.
Which I'm very surprised about, because I'm sure I saw like rumors back in the day when Oculus was kind of
Xbox One
existing.
X was supposed to have VR support.
Yeah,
It didn't. I don't get it. Just support VR. They have they
they've
have
got
Windows Mixed
so
Reality.
much power now.
I'm actually on the
Yeah.
opposite side of the fence with this. I think they're better just leaving VR alone just now.
But they've got their own VR like stuff for DirectX.
Yeah, but to actually put time and money into making a product to market it. To
No.
sell it,
Don't make a product. Just support. Like they've got all the the software on Windows. Port that VR software that they've got, which supports multiple VR headsets under DirectX. Put that on Xbox, and just let people use their VR headsets that they already
I
own.
suppose, yeah. Although I don't know what the requisites are for using those VR headsets like the HTC Vive and stuff. Like, is there technicality, hardware limitations and stuff to that, or
Not on the Series X.
Don't want. Yeah, I mean the Series X has got way enough power, but I don't think they want a Kinect. I think they want everything on there to be really useful and like.
I think they're scared of it.
Gaming machine. I think they don't want to be like, okay, we've put VR in. We don't want anyone to like fantasize about it and be like, okay, this is the greatest VR machine ever, but it's there if you want it. I think they want it to be like 100% all the gaming you'd use and nothing extra.
yeah, I think I that's a good point. I don't know if Microsoft as a company want to be the ones who are just like, oh look, we've just given you support for something. I think if they're going to do it at all, they want to be the masters of it, and they're not. Ready.
Well, you say
They're not
that,
ready
but then
yet.
they added keyboard and mouse to Xbox and haven't put any of their keyboard and mouse PC games on Xbox.
Yeah, but that's just
And they also just kind of stopped talking about it. They released a product with Razer, with like this specially designed Xbox keyboard and mouse, made a huge deal about it, then didn't do anything with it.
Well, none of the games compatible.
No, there's like a few. There's like 30 or so games that are compatible, but I don't think there's any Microsoft games that are.
Alright, maybe I'm naive. I just assumed that like first-person shooters and stuff would just naturally work with them.
Maybe, but they haven't revealed any new ones.
Alright.
So it's just kind of a feature that they don't use. And I say, just allow people to use their Oculuses or their Vives or their their Windows mixed reality headsets that you have a stake in already on your Xbox. And then, because they want to be this ultimate games machine, they want to keep people away from PlayStation. PlayStation have VR. I don't want to hook up my PlayStation to play Skyrim VR. I'd rather just do it on my Xbox, where I'm going to play all my other games.
I mean, for all we know, they could have it integrated already, and they're just waiting for a time they can like release their own headset, like PlayStation did.
That's what I'm thinking.
Or something
Maybe,
like because I think
maybe
it would be stupid for us to say they're never going to have VR, and then like a year down the line, it's like, oh no, we've totally been working on this. We just didn't want to.
Well, Fallout 4 VR was supposed to come to the Xbox One X. That was like one of their big announcements when they announced Project Scorpio. Is that it was the first console that would be able to support the very poorly optimized Fallout 4 in VR. Brute force it.
It's the only way.
I've just got a funny feeling that I think the Xbox branding is all they really have left that's unique to them, I think.
Yeah.
So
that and Game Pass.
Well, that's Xbox branded, though. This is what I'm saying. So they want to make sure they can develop their own headset and things for this. I mean, because then they can integrate that into the PC ecosphere as well, and pose some proper competition for these other companies, rather than just becoming a sort of spoke to these other companies.
Yeah, but then all these other platforms have hundreds of VR games already.
But
like you launch it if you're trying to get, because on PlayStation and PC there are a subset of gamers that are VR gamers. They play games in VR because that's their favorite way to play games.
No, totally. But how many gamers is that? Is that enough for?
At least 6. But
at least 6.
It's like it's just one full server of Pavlov, and that's about it.
That's not true. We try to play Pavlov. There's always full servers we can't get into.
This is very true.
But like these gamers aren't going to move to Xbox for a better VR experience, especially if they're playing on PlayStation. Because PlayStation 4 VR isn't very good. But it is VR, and VR is cool. And Resi 7 in VR made me nearly shit my pants.
I do think I think VR is still like, it's not came about yet. The actual sort of VR experience that people are looking for.
But Halo Infinite VR, Phil. Halo VR.
He's just wanting to like live out his fantasies as being the master chef, isn't he?
Well, I fantasize a lot of things about Master Chief. So sometimes it's being him, sometimes it's him being me.
Sometimes it's him being on you.
Sometimes it's me being on him.
Oh, there you go.
Rah. So yeah, Tetris Effect is coming to Xbox.
Yes, apparently Tetris Effect is very good as well. So
yeah,
I'm interested.
I know. Editor of Eurogamer was is going to be. I mean, maybe this will get him to pick up an Xbox Series X.
Is it console exclusive?
Yes, console exclusive. I believe it's console and PC exclusive, so also Windows Store.
Good. Yeah, that.
Right.
Oh wait, Windows Store or Xbox app?
They're the same thing.
Why not both?
Yeah, it'll be on both.
It was just when you said Windows Store there, my heart sank a little bit.
Well, it the Xbox app downloads the files from the Windows Store. So
yeah, as now using the Xbox app with my Games Pass, because I'm now apparently a fucking shill for that.
You were given a free month, Alex. That doesn't make you.
I know, but it's so good.
It is very
I beg to differ.
The stuff that's already in my Windows Store is automatically on the Xbox app, so
right, okay.
They are linked
It
together.
would make
thankfully.
sense considering the absolute trash fest that's happening behind the scenes with the app integration. Funnily enough, I actually just wrote an article to do with moving your bloody save files off of Game Pass onto Steam so you can just abandon ship.
I don't use Game
Game
Pass
Pass
PC
is-
very much.
I've
So-
been
good.
using it, and it's been a pain in my backside.
I broke everything on my desk. I haven't had much issue with it, but apart from when Streets of Rage 4 came out, and it just wouldn't work. That's the only time I've had issues, and that's a pretty big issue.
Yeah.
Yeah. But Tetris Effect will have a multiplayer expansion as well as some other like enhanced stuff, and it'll be on the Xbox Series X as well and look very nice, probably. Unless it looks really bad, that'll be funny. Another thing that was announced was Warhammer 40,000 Darktide. This looked cool.
It looked cool, and then I realised it was Warhammer and thought, oh god.
Listen.
Get into that.
I don't know much about Warhammer. I do like the Space Marines. They are cool.
Do they remind you of Master Chef?
No, they don't. They remind me of if a 5-year-old tried to make his like badasser version of Master Chief. And I was once a 5-year-old, so I know. Yeah, it's pretty cool. Well done, Jason.
I know very little about Warhammer, yet I seem to have a Space Hulk game for the 3DO, of which
Oh,
seems
that's
to be
one of the
worth a
best
lot-
3DO games, isn't it?
Seems to be worth a lot of money.
Whoa. Fuck your
least it-
Vectrex. You got Space Hulk.
Oh no! Don't bring up the Vectrex again, Lewis. Don't bring up the Vectrex.
It's the only thing I got on you. It's the only dit I can dig up.
Oh, it's not actually that expensive. Well, actually, it's a different version I've got. I was just looking it up on eBay. Someone's selling a
Aw.
copy for a tenner, but my one's different. My one's a big box thing.
Oh, you
Big
idiot.
massive box.
This looks like a spooky game.
Yes. Apparently, it's made by the same people who did Vermintide, which was Left 4 Dead.
does this mean it's going to be just another Left? Oh, it is. It's a visceral four-player
I mean, it did
co-op
have-
action game set in the
It
Hive.
did have 4-player co-op. So
Fuck. I was hoping it wasn't. It was anything but that.
I really hope it's trying to be spooky though, because spooky games in co-op never work.
I don't know. Left 4 Dead was pretty scary back in like 2009.
I mean, yeah, but it wasn't a horror game. It had like horror elements. Like I know Fear 3 is pretty dog shit,
But yeah,
but
Fear
it's
3's a
definitely
bad
trying
game.
to be. It's definitely trying to have like horror and spooky elements, and they're just funny as fuck because you've got someone next to you.
Or not.
It's a good.
Sometimes you play them
I
alone
mean-
because you don't have any friends.
Well, that's just the worst way to play them. Then it is just dog
Fear
shit.
3 was really bad on my own.
Yeah.
Can't imagine it being that much better with people.
Oh, it was the funniest fucking thing.
Oh, well, one day we'll have to
was
play
ridiculous.
through it, Alex.
Please don't make me play it
We
again.
can play it again. We can
No.
play it all the time. Every Friday night will be Friday Fear Fun.
You're gonna ruin your hands just for Fear 3.
I've ruined my hands for worse. Hello, neighbor. I don't know. Apparently, those Vermintide games are good. I think I played some of the second one on Xbox, but it was really badly optimized. So I guess I'll give it a go. Maybe depends if my hands work. Talking about spooky games, Stalker 2 was announced for Xbox Series X.
It was.
As a console exclusive, or like a console timed exclusive, one of them.
I hope that means Windows, because I don't want to play it on
Oh god,
Xbox.
you think Stalker would go console only? Hell no.
What?
I don't know how, like... It seems to me like the Witcher 3 kind of, like a traditionally hardcore PC thing going console. And I'm sure it's going to work, because I trust, like, developers when they do that now after CD Projekt Red did it so well.
To be fair, I think
But-
they managed to get to the position where they were though because well, when it came to The Witcher 2, they realised that they managed to get some mechanics that work quite well with the controller.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Whereas the first Witcher game, I can't imagine it working on a.
Oh,
Yeah, that
also,
was-
I
that
wouldn't
was
want to play it.
garbage, even with
It's really
PC.
bad. I see people like bringing this up, like when people are like, oh, I want to get into the Witcher like games. Which one should I start at? And it's some people, and they've usually got a big dirty beard. They reply as if in jest. Oh, you can start with the first one. It's a bit rough around the edges, but it's still good. No, it's not. It's never been good. It wasn't good when it came out in 2007, and it's especially not good now. It's clunkier than Morrowind.
Wow, that is a statement and a half.
I know, and I love Morrowind, but Morrowind is a little bit bad. Like
We
just
all
trying
love
to
something that's a
play
little
it.
bit bad.
Yeah, I mean, some people love themselves. Those people are rotten to the core.
Stalker does look very good, though.
I'm looking at this trailer, Alex. Do you know what I've noticed?
Water effects. And ray
I
tracing.
noticed some ray traced reflections. If you go to 41, that's seconds.
Oh, that's the big puddle
Yeah,
one.
that's
That looks
the
very
puddle.
nice.
You can see this little
Yeah.
weird orangey globby thing, and there's a little reflection of it in the puddle. Very nice.
Yeah.
Oh.
It's very nicely done.
Yeah, this trailer
I'm
is gorgeous.
excited to play it. Yeah.
Oh. Oh.
It's got it seems to be doing really nice stuff with the kind of supernatural elements of Stalker. So
Yeah, which was, I mean, I didn't complete Stalker 1 because I believe it pissed me off to no end. But
yeah, I've not played any of them, but I know they are interesting.
Phil, do you know much about the Stalker franchise?
I really don't. I'm trying to. I was like scraping about in the back of my mind there, trying to work out if I do.
I played Call of Pripyat. Do any of you know if that's the first one or is that like an expansion or something?
Oh, I've no
Well,
idea.
whatever
Imagine
one.
it's
I
an
played that.
expansion.
I don't know if it had expansions. It just had a subtitle. That's all I know.
Oh wait, did you say
Huh?
it was called what?
Call of Pripyat.
Pripyat.
Oh yeah, I'm on the Googles just now.
Oh,
I'm on the Googles.
Doing a quick Google.
And yeah, there seems to be two versions. Let's see. Yeah, it seems to be two different games.
Well, I played
Yeah.
that one.
One was
And
out
it-
in 2007, and the other one was out in 2009.
Oh, that's a big difference. They probably
Does that not
improved
mean
a
there
bunch
should
of
be
stuff.
Stalker 3?
No, because we know that games have sequels that aren't official sequels. They're spin-offs.
Did you hear my big sigh there?
Yes. Like Halloween 3, or
Don't
Halloween
start about
H2O, or Halloween,
Halloween.
or Halloween 2.
We're now on like our fourth bloody reboot of it.
No, we're not. We're on our third.
Third.
Yeah, there's Halloween, and then there's Rob Zombie's Halloween, and then there's
No.
only one reboot, isn't there?
No, you've missed out there. No, because there's alternate timelines.
Oh,
So-
because H2O is an alternate timeline
Exactly,
of the
yes.
first Halloween, but this
Yes.
one, okay, and then there's the reboot of Halloween. So that's,
Technically, that I would constitute that as like a reboot because they basically just scrapped the story.
no, it's a soft reboot.
Technicalities.
Well, the technicalities are very important when you're explaining what is a reboot.
Well, there's Stalker Clear Sky,
I've never even heard of that.
which came out. These came out like year after year. So you've got like Stalker Shadow of Chernobyl.
Yeah.
Then you've got Stalker Clear Sky that came out
Yeah.
2008 after the year after, and then you've got that Call of Pripyat.
What came after that one?
Don't think anything came after that one.
Wait, so they've been working on this for 10, 11 years?
Let me have a look.
Where do they have the money?
Stalker series?
How does it look like a
Yeah,
ne-
you should, it's quite funny. You should actually go and visit the Wikipedia page because the wee timeline at the side goes 2007, 2008, 2009, and then it goes 2021.
What have they been doing?
Developing Stalker 2 apparently.
But this looks like games that take this long to make, they normally end up looking like Duke Nukem Forever, where they look like they're from 6 different generations of games at once.
You know, there's a Stalker Fest,
I didn't, and I fucking wish I didn't now.
and there's pictures of people in like gas masks and stuff.
Yeah, as far as I know, the audience to Stalker is a little bit intense
Holy
at
shit!
times.
This game was announced in August 2010 with an initial release date scheduled for 2012.
Looks like they missed that a little bit.
Cyberpunk.
They scrapped.
They got the numbers the wrong way around.
Cancelled that, so they cancelled that in 2012, and then
Oh.
development of a new Stalker 2 was announced on 15th of May 2018.
Well, they did make a game in between this. called Cossacks 3. I've never heard of 1 or 2, which is a remake of a RTS game set in 17th and 18th century Europe. The main differences from the old game are modern 3D graphics.
Oh.
Yeah.
What do you know?
But it's a remake of the first one that's called number 3. So,
There you go.
looks like we got a Halloween situation going on.
Oh dear.
But yeah, Stalker 2 looks gorgeous.
Yes, it looks very
I
detailed.
wonder how much of that original game is in there.
I'm not sure. It says not that Wikipedia is accurate at all, but it says it's based on Unreal Engine 4, the new one.
Yeah, looks it.
So I'm guessing there's not a lot from the old one.
Maybe a
Okay.
PNG or two.
Maybe a bit of text.
Maybe the title.
Oh wait, this was cancelled twice actually. It was cancelled in 2011, and then they said, "Oh no, wait, we're going to continue development of it," and then it was cancelled again. So watch this space for this game being cancelled.
Yeah, will it come out? Does it have a release date?
You ready for a Phil Hayton pop quiz?
Yeah.
Tell me what Stalker stands for.
Uh,
It's an acronym.
Semi. No, supernatural.
Right.
What could a T be? Supernatural.
Tribbles.
I'm working on it.
I think it's supernatural, time, and let's kill easy Russians.
I actually thought we were going to
Scavengers.
start like spelling out the TARDIS or something.
That's very tempted.
What kind of game is it? It's like a scavenging like survival game, right?
You're gonna love this.
Yeah,
Actually,
it's
the more I look at what this stands for, the more I'm getting amused. Would you like me to tell you?
Well, I'm working on it.
You're working on it. Fuck you. I'm gonna tell you. Anyway.
I got scavengers, torture, asshole, lonely kids.
Oh, you're so close with the L.
Lonely kids eat
Nah,
rabies.
you were so close with the L. I'm really impressed.
Tell me what it is, boyo.
Stands for scavengers, trespassers, adventurers, loners, killers, explorers, and robbers.
Loners.
Loners.
Loners. I thought this was a Russian game.
It's a Ukrainian game.
Oh, well, they definitely
bit
didn't like that then,
cheeky-breeky.
did they? Oh,
Scavengers, trespassers, adventurers, loners, killers, explorers, and robbers. Oh my.
I got lonely. That's close enough, right?
I was quite impressed with that. Yeah.
Do
Anyway,
I get 1 point? One stalker
No.
point.
You get fuck all.
You can chuck me in Chernobyl now.
You're getting nothing.
Destiny 2 is coming to Game Pass.
Destiny 2 came to my microwave last week.
Did it?
No, I'm just being sarcastic.
Well, Phil, I don't appreciate you being a little cock when I'm trying to tell people about the news.
The news.
The news!
Old news.
Let's be honest, we're an hour in, no one's still here.
Destiny 2 is coming to...
Nobody is learning about
Destiny
news
2
here.
is coming to the Xbox Game Pass thing and next gen. Whoa.
And if you have Game Pass Ultimate,
Ah,
you can play it on mobile.
That's
But
true.
Google Stadia.
no.
Stadia.
No. This comes with all the
It's
expansions as
Stadia.
well.
What?
This comes with every Destiny expansion as well. Gotta pay.
Stadia.
Not if you're not a pro member, no.
Okay.
I mean, technically, you're paying for both, but you're just not going to pay for Stadia, are you?
No.
So- Psychonauts 2 had a trailer, had Jack Black in it. Looked very good.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
He sung a song. It was very nice.
did.
Jack Black and Tim Schafer like pressed bellies together. It was.
But they didn't smooch.
It was a special moment.
Behind the scenes, they were rubbing beards. I'm sure of it.
Oh, that's not social distancing.
Quite possibly.
They've got very big beards. You don't know.
Two have fucking huge beards, don't they? Oh,
do I.
there was a big game that was announced.
What was that?
That was Avowed by Obsidian Entertainment, their first big
yeah.
AAA RPG for Xbox. What after Xbox bought them?
I've almost forgot what that was already. It's like
It's a first-person
was-
RPG set in the Pillars of Eternity universe.
yeah.
Oh, okay.
Which, by the way, some of these websites definitely knew about beforehand because they had massive articles explaining the backstory of the world and how it's evolved. And I was like, you fucking knew. Could have given me a heads up, people who I know.
It does look very good though. The effects for like the fire and the smoke and the magic are properly next gen.
Doesn't look as nice as Everwild though.
No, that game is fucking.
Like the
gorgeous.
hair in Everwild and the smoke.
It's so just the water and it's fucking good.
It's a very pretty thingamajig.
I require it.
The one thing that did stick out to me was that this person in the game, they drew signs in the air with their hand.
Yes.
And it had a spell. We played a game like that, Alex, in VR, and it didn't work at all. So
No, the game was big garbage.
yeah, like Spellpunk VR can suck my nut. Just the one.
It only deserves the one nut.
And then I guess there's the last thing that got announced, which was Fable.
Oh,
Yes.
we're on to Fable now, are we?
Didn't look like Fable much, did it?
Well, I think that's what they were going for.
But does Fable have fairies?
Well, yeah, it has everything. It's basically just whatever. Basically, fantasy. Yeah, get it in there.
Did the fairy get eaten by a frog?
It did get eaten by a big, massive toad.
I was watching this entire stream with my girlfriend, and she was very excited to see the fairy. She was like, "Oh, it's so cute."
Oh no.
And she was not very happy when it got eaten. I was laughing. But also, I was only laughing while looking at my screen so I could write up the news, because that is my life.
I just had to Google to see if there was fairies in the original Fable, and it seems like there is. Yes,
Okay.
they're just horrible looking.
Oh, do they look like gross little NPCs from Bully?
You know how the proper way, the proper way to spell fairy that seems to have been lost?
F-A-E-R-I-E-S.
Yeah, that one. You know how those fairies are usually like horrible.
Yes.
Yeah, that's what they were kind of like, I'm sure, in the original
Oh,
Fable.
those are the best kind of fairies. I don't think any of this is like in engine though, so it's just
No, it looked very pretty, but I didn't specifically think that it's actually Fable.
It's
Like
just promotional gubbins.
it shows nothing. But I mean, we've had a teaser before at a previous event, I think.
Do you think they'll keep the prostitution?
I hope so.
I forgot about
Do
it.
you?
I actually thought you were just.
What else am I gonna do in that game, Lewis? I've got to get through it somehow.
I wonder if they'll keep all the gubbins about like politics and buying hussies and all this.
Like the working class stuff.
That's not working class. Not what politics
No,
and buying
no,
houses.
no,
Lewis.
no. The like Fable 2 is like, I mean, there's a lot of classism stuff, isn't there?
Or you
Well-
could do you could do manual labor and be able
Yeah.
to. Yeah.
But I mean, like, the people of Albion were all very working class, apart from when you, like, you know, like the big people like Reaver and stuff. But also you, because you've got a fuck ton of money and you're buying every house, and you see all these people. You're supposed to be the hero, by the way, and they don't give you evil points for this, but you can just go around and buy all the houses, like a fucking Monopoly man.
You know what? You know what though? Just it's worth saying that I highly doubt that this new Fable game, if it does come to be, because you know what these bloody things are like, I'll be surprised if it is even remotely like any of the original 3 games.
Yeah, well,
it is
it doesn't have
by
Peter Molyneux.
a different studio.
I don't think even mechanically or even just aesthetically it's going to be. I think they're going to go for a sort of a Witcher type thing. I think we need massive RPGs here. We don't need. They're going to miss the point. I think it's basically. I'm just predicting this now. They're going to like shoot and miss with Fable, because they're going to not understand that it was supposed to be a sort of lightweight RPG, full of a lot of kind of whimsicism and fun.
I don't know, because Playground have a really good track record so far, and they do have quite a few ex-Lionhead people there. And
I wouldn't be surprised.
And
if
also,
it's,
they are a British studio.
like a mix between everything. So it's like a bit. It's definitely going to be in the Fable world because that's like why they're still in the IP. But I think it's going to have a bit of whimsy, but it's going to be a lot of like hardcore Witcher RPG.
Yeah, I think they're definitely going to. They're not ignorant to the fact that people responded well to that type of RPG with like CD Projekt Red, and then they've even got the likes of. I know it's not the same thing, but they've got like other CD Projekt Red stuff coming out now, and then you've got other games that are inspired by it, and they know that formula is hooking people, so they're going to jump on that train, I think.
But I don't know, because I think
I don't know how you would make.
I think that's what Obsidian's RPG is going to be. Obsidian's RPG is probably going to be like the next gen, like Skyrim/Witcher kind of thing.
Yeah, I do wonder if that one's trying to just beat Bethesda to make.
Oh god,
Skyrim
do you think it'll
again.
release before Elder Scrolls 6? I'm pretty sure it will.
Again.
No, this one's got a different logo.
Skyrim again. It's just Skyrim.
Morrowind again.
Skyrim forever.
They announce it and like trailer it as a new, completely new thing. The start of it, you get knocked out and just wake back up in the car.
I mean, Bethesda's got a new game before Elder Scrolls 6. They've got oh shit. Oh fuck. Oh,
Don't get this
I've
wrong.
lost it. I forgot its name. It's a space thing. What's it called?
Is it?
What's it called?
I don't know what it is.
Starfield. Right? Yeah?
Starfield.
Bethesda space thing. Yes,
Starfield.
Starfield. It was
Sort of accurate.
announced in 2018.
Yeah, they showed a logo as well. Woo.
Oh, I love a
Let me
logo.
see. Now that I know the name, I can type it up. I can see what it's about. No, I can't. There's no information.
Yeah, it's
Here we
pretty-
go. PC Gamer. Everything they know about Bethesda's RPG.
Just fucking nothing.
It's been in development for years. It has Bethesda's DNA. Vwah! You know what that means. They've killed Skyrim. They've finally done it. They've killed.
In Skyrim 2.
They've killed it and they fired it into space and they're just reeling in what comes back.
Is Skyrim going to be on next gen? Have we discussed this?
It was leaked for PS5, wasn't it?
Yeah.
And they're
Wow.
charging £70.
I mean, see, be fair though, I'm not being funny, but basically every single Elder Scrolls game has been Skyrim, really, hasn't it?
No, I'd say
Yeah.
no. Listen,
Nah,
right?
it's-
Every Elder Scrolls game has just taken things away. It's like, I mean, it's obviously it's like the casualization of like a deep RPG like Daggerfall is pretty much unplayable to the average person. Should stay that way as well, because there are better games to be playing. And then Morrowind was a little bit more streamlined, and then Oblivion was a little bit more streamlined, and then Skyrim was just like, well, all you really want to do is go around and hit things, right? And that's all that game is, really. Hitting things and magicking things, and occasionally opening a menu. Don't even have a giant bug to ride. If you want to play a good Elder Scrolls game, the Elder Scrolls Online is like... It's like the stories of the Elder Scrolls, but in a combat system that isn't just hitting things. So you're not just pressing the slap button. You can dodge roll.
There we go.
I love the slap
Dodge, roll,
button.
and slap.
Yeah. You can block as well. You can properly block.
Anyway, Fable.
Yeah, it'll be alright.
Fable is going to have dogs.
Oh, you hope so, right? That's a key feature.
Well,
It better have HD crunchy chicks and a proper eating animation.
Oh my god, what if you got to watch like a 10-minute animation of you just like eating these chicks with a knife and fork?
Oh, you would do it by the handful. Don't mess it up.
It's like that Futurama episode where they find out, like, they go to that planet and get
Yeah.
that like, what they think is like an alternative to fried chicken, but they're all alive. And they're like, but you taste so good. Oh yeah, it's like the babies of these aliens, isn't it?
Yeah. I love Futurama. It's so
Me
good.
too. They should make another Futurama video game.
Oh god.
Yeah, not another series. Just make another.
Yeah,
video
make another
game.
because this is a video game podcast, so we got to tie it in somehow.
Yeah.
There was a Futurama video game, listeners, and it was all right. It was canon.
Yeah.
They released
wow.
all of the cutscenes on a DVD.
There you go.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that was the thing they did for some fucking reason. But that's everything. So that was
That
announced.
wasn't everything. You little.
What did I
bitch.
miss?
There was a game called As Dust Falls.
Oh yeah, you see, I
That
saw
was-
that one, but I didn't care.
It was. Yeah, it seems. I have no idea how it's going to play. It's clearly painted over proper video footage. And sometimes that looked good, sometimes that looked no
There
good.
was a movie, and I can't remember the name of it, but there was a movie that had like Keanu Reeves in it in like the mid 2000s, and it was like rotoscoped. The entire thing is rotoscoped over,
Ooh.
and I can't remember what it's fucking called. But this didn't really remind me of that. But I was looking at it, and I was like, it would look kind of cool if it looked like that, but it doesn't look like that.
Yeah.
What did you say this game's called?
As Dust Falls, I have it written down by.
It doesn't seem to be coming up anything.
Well, maybe I just had a fever dream when we saw
I'll go through the list of things. It was called, well, it wasn't Halo Infinite, As Dusk Falls.
Dusk Falls. I've got awful
Yeah,
handwriting.
the drama thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, this Keanu Reeves movie is called
God.
A Scanner Darkly.
Ah.
And
I
it's,
didn't know it was a former bloody Quantic Dream person.
oh, no,
Oh.
it's not the guy who was like...
No, it's a Caroline Marshall.
Oh, okay, so it wasn't the guy who, like, when the Black Lives Matter movement was going on, he was like, you should all buy Detroit Become Human.
No, it's someone who's
Ugh.
left Quantic Dream. Sorry, is what I should have said.
Good.
Yes, it's a Caroline Marshall who is on Twitter at Caro Marshall.
Ah.
Ah.
Well, we're not gonna go through people's social media profiles again. We had to cut that from the last one.
Getting a bit too deep dive.
Yeah. So,
Uh,
well,
There was also the Outer Worlds DLC that was announced, and I really like the style of Outer Worlds, but that's just because they made a good game. Other than that, nothing new really. Well, new story.
new
but
story, new weapons, new characters.
What annoys me about the
Yeah,
Outer Worlds
just
is that
Expansion.
I really love it because it's obviously it's Obsidian sort of drawing everything that was great about New Vegas. And,
Yeah.
you know, putting in a nice wee package. The problem is it seems to be using too much takey the pissy marketing.
Yeah, the
And it
game's
puts-
not really like that.
No, not really, and it puts me off. Like every time I see them just taking the utter piss, I'm just like, can you not at least like leave the
But they
tongue-in-cheek
they
stuff
did
to be
that
subtle
for
in the game?
they did that for Grounded as well.
Yes, having played Grounded, that's definitely not the
Style.
theme of the game.
Yeah.
But it was very funny as a trailer.
I did
like I thought it was very well done,
But
but
then
it's just
misleading
not
is
the game at all.
No, not really, because I'd say like once they got past the jokey part of like, oh, this is the biggest game of the year. Not really, it's the smallest. They just went into a trailer that's pretty much that. Yeah, this is the game. It's pretty fun.
Yeah,
It's just
Okay.
I don't know.
it seemed like they wanted to do something tongue in cheek for Outer Worlds, but they also wanted to show off Grounded because that's the actual game they're
But
releasing.
Obsidian games are tongue in cheek, just not in that way.
Yeah,
Like these trailers are very like they're just like they're little like comedy videos, but most
Yeah,
of
they
the
got-
Obsidian stuff is satirical.
they got known for their tongue in cheek satire, And now it seems in every trailer they're amping that up to 11 to show, like, look, it's us. We do the tongue-in-cheek satire. We're the people who do that.
But their trailers are more like Double Fine comedy than like their games are.
Yeah, I think they're trying to play up to who they are expected to be or who they are seen as almost, like rather than actually just being, no, this is the game we made. It's pretty good.
Yeah. Odd.
Well, now that we have covered every game, right?
I mean, they did technically talk about Senua's Saga.
Yeah, but they didn't show anything.
But it wasn't any new footage apart from the stuff we've already seen.
Which I just finished playing Hellblade for the first time on stream.
What did you... Oh, at twitch.tv/
T with Fell.
Yes.
All one word.
And how did you find your gameplay?
It was very enjoyable. It was a bit weird and tedious at times, but then because it was so kind of pretty and also absolutely scary to listen and look at.
Yeah, it's I have like a stereo soundbar as a speaker, and it makes it sound like the voices are all around me, and it's very off-putting. It's also very anxiety-inducing.
It was. I was, and I don't know if people would have noticed this while watching my stream, but I was really quite on edge throughout the whole thing. It would disrupt your train of thought so often because it does feel like those voices are properly intrusive.
Yeah.
And yeah, that ultimately, that and the sort of style and the sort of way that they pace some of the combat and some of it was more of a psychological thing it was doing with you, where that was the enjoyment. I say enjoyment with a pinch of salt because it's obviously not enjoyable to be anxious, but it was effective and it kept you going. Other than that, though, the gameplay was tedious. Very, very
what
tedious.
did you think of its depiction of mental illness? Because I know some people they've praised it, but they've also been extremely critical about the way that it portrays mental illness.
Yeah, I'm sort of in the same camp as them, where it's a double-edged sword.
Yeah.
I think yes, it's good to sort of portray how some people might experience mental illness. I wouldn't say it's a one-size-fits-all canister either. But it's, I mean, it was effective at portraying the type of situation that Senua was going through. I don't think at times it was sort of a... Yeah, it didn't... I get a lot of the criticisms about it. Again, as I said, it's definitely not a one-size-fits-all, and it's not going to teach you about everyone's mental health.
I feel like it's also more of an issue of how you can try and inform people about topics, and this goes from like mental illness to politics to like gender identity, while also if you're going to put this in like a product like a game or a film, you've got to create stories around that, and especially when it comes to games, people prefer like this fantastical kind of thing, and it's kind of hard to create these like deep, inventive stories while also trying to stay true to such a hard to talk about topic.
Yeah. It's again, it's just, it can be hard to portray these things sometimes.
Yeah.
And I can understand if someone sees it and everyone's glorifying it for being this great depiction of mental health, where they're like, well, no, that's not actually that accurate a depiction because it's not accurate to that person. But I do see its value in the fact that a lot of people have been helped by it. There were stories that came out where people who were suffering from the same sort of mental health symptoms and traits, and they were like contemplating suicide and stuff, and then kind of realised that there's something not quite right with them.
Yeah.
And they decided to pursue it after that, rather than just because it was sort of displayed in a more meaningful sort of way to that, not meaningful, but something they can sort of digest, if that makes sense.
And it's also something that like when a very when an entertaining piece of media comes out that touches on these topics, people who like like identify a certain way, or people who struggle with something, they can send these pieces of entertainment like to people who they want to understand, because it's hard for people who struggle with these kind of things to actually tell people like how they're struggling and why it's like why it's a big issue in their daily life.
Yeah, no, exactly. That's it. But overall, was a good game. Gameplay was very tedious, but it sort of took a back seat to the sort of the narrative on display and the sort of actual atmospheric.
You know how there's a lot of voices going on at once?
Uh-huh.
Well, Microsoft have audio hardware in the Xbox Series X, right? Which will allow hundreds of voices at once.
Again, though, from looking at Hellblade in terms of its narrative and the way it's going, I wouldn't expect that to be a running theme in the sequel.
No, me neither.
Because it's supposed to be, the ending for me was sort of, there was a lot of, it was at Senua I found some clarity in what she was experiencing. So I would expect there to be maybe something different or something sort of different.
Well, it's still Senua, right? When you finished Hellblade, I mean, if you didn't know that Hellblade 2 was already a thing, would you have expected a sequel?
Well, it depends what we... There being a sequel allows you to sort of, and I'm not going to spoil this for anyone, but it allows you to sort of understand more what you're seeing at the end. Whereas some people might have taken it quite literally, I think.
Yeah.
Where it wasn't literal, it was a sort of... I think it was supposed to be... Well, I would guess it was supposed to be more metaphorical.
Yeah.
Since... Because I know what you were going to say there. I'm not going to spoil it for anyone, but... yeah, like... I think it's supposed to be more of a... It wasn't sort of like a twist or a... Something... A twist in terms of it wasn't maybe what you thought, but, you know. Because I know a lot of people construed different things from that, but... Yeah.
One thing that we can talk about, by the way... don't know if we talked about this in the last podcast or if that was something that a different podcast I was on, but we wrote an article about how Hellblade 2 was the first showcase of Unreal Engine 5, right?
Right.
And people were like, oh, but Unreal Engine 5 isn't out until 2021, Lewis. Stupid fuck. How can this be the first showing of Unreal 5 if it wasn't out yet? Because these people don't understand how developers work, right?
Because the developers aren't allowed to touch their own tools until they're out.
Yeah, especially a developer as part of Microsoft who always get Unreal Engine first, because Microsoft is one of the biggest companies that use Unreal Engine. Like the Coalition with Gears. Gears of War is the series that pushes Unreal Engine like forward. It uses every feature pretty much that Unreal Engine uses. It's still a technological showcase. Well, Epic came out and said that yes, it was the first showing of Unreal Engine 5. So fuck you!
Yeah, no, I'm glad you got that off your chest.
Thanks, man. It fucking pisses me off.
Yeah. So, yeah.
Do you want to get into some questions that we've been asked?
I was about to say I didn't want to, you know, hijack your position as host.
Oh, well, you can do it though.
If you want.
Yeah, come on.
I'll ask you the questions then.
Yeah, but you got to announce that we're doing questions.
Yes, we're doing questions from viewers.
Oh, there we go.
From listeners.
We've got questions.
we got two.
We're doing two questions that we have on the tweet that Lewis White, MSPoweruser, put out. And the questions are as follows. Starting with the earliest one submitted, which is from Rapid Reviews Radio.
I was on their podcast.
At Twitter, R Radio Pod. And the question is, are you excited to see the Western release of Phantasy Star Online 2?
Saw it quite a while ago.
Yeah, that's old.
Yeah,
Years, isn't it?
Yeah, but people don't understand because it's not out over here, but you can play it over here by downloading it on America.
Okay, let's help them out though, because they probably mean, are you excited to see the European release of...
I don't think they announced that though.
Well, would you be excited to see a European
I'd be
release?
very excited. I'd be able to play it without massive amounts of lag.
There you go.
God, I've been waiting for this for 10 fucking years. Oh. I hate you, Sega. I hate you. Mr. Sega. I hate you.
Mr. Sega. So yeah, I hope that answers your question. Rapid Reviews Radio.
Me too. Because I'm not answering it
second
again.
I hope that was a decent answer. Anyway, second question is from Ben Kerry, and they are at iShotgunBlues.
Ooh.
And they have asked, do you think conveying higher frame rates...
Oh,
is
guys.
proving-
Guys.
Sorry. What?
My headphones have died.
Your head?
You fool!
I can't hear anything.
How the
I'll be
hell?
back in a
Quick,
second.
call him a cunt.
This is
Oh.
fun.
I hate the world.
Yeah.
I'm back.
Oh, he
I'm back,
lives.
bitches.
You are back. Okay.
I'm pulling up my pants because they fell down on the way back.
For fuck's sake.
Well, that's the point you can edit back in from.
Okay. Go on, read Ben Kerry's email message.
Right. Okay, so the second question is from Ben Kerry,
Yeah.
and they are at iShotgunBlues on Twitter. And
At
they have
what?
iShotgunBlues.
At what?
Shotgun
again, Lewis.
Blues.
What about the eye?
iShotgunBlues. and they have asked, do you think conveying higher frame rates has proven tough for Microsoft, seeing as a lot of people down on Halo visually, but that game running at 60 will surely be impressive?
At what? No,
It's 60.
No, I do think this is an issue because when I saw Halo Infinite at this thing, I was like, oh, that doesn't look as good as I thought it was going to look.
I thought it looks alright.
Yeah. I mean, it looks fine. It is running at 60 FPS, and it looks
Yeah,
really good for running at 60 FPS.
I mean, I don't think they needed to as a general thing. Like, I'm
No,
sure
they
if
did.
they...
Because Halo 5 was 60 FPS, and they were talking about how
okay.
much better it was. That's why they had to remove like split screen and stuff. So they really had to do 60 FPS in this one. Otherwise, they go, "Well, you're a big bunch of fucking liars, aren't you?"
I think I just
Well, I mean, just like, generally as console gamers, I think they're a lot less caring about 60
Not-
FPS. I mean, I think
not
they're still,
in-
like, if you
not
give
in
them a 60
shooters.
FPS game, they'll still be
This
pretty happy.
this generation shooters have been targeting 60 FPS, and they've been mostly hitting it. Like all the Call of Duty games target 60 FPS, and
yeah.
Titanfall and Halo and Apex.
I mean, I'm just a bit immune to it, because I've had the big PC
Oh,
boy.
but Alex, you don't play all your games at 60 FPS on PC.
Be quiet about my processing
You don't
power.
even play. You don't even play them above 4K. You might as well be a console scrub.
I do play them at 144 hertz. Don't you dare shame my name.
You have
this way.
144
My
hits?
PC My PC that I built 7 years ago has been running Death Stranding at 60 FPS until it gets to the cutscenes with the pores, and then it starts tanking.
It's the pause. That's what does
The
it.
pores.
The
Honestly,
pores.
it's the most miraculous thing. In fact, it was hilarious because there's clearly a cutscene at the beginning of Death Stranding, the one that everyone saw in the trailer where he wakes up at the beach and there's the people in the sky.
At the what?
At the beach, and it's clearly not. It's clearly not an engine. It's not in game because it just stuck at 60 for that one.
Oh, no. I watched the Digital Foundry video of the Death Stranding PC port, and cutscenes are just pretty fucking weird. Sometimes they run at high frame rates, and sometimes they don't. For example,
So that one was an engine?
it might have been, because
I don't think it was. The reason I didn't think it was is because what it's doing with the sort of presentation of
okay.
it.
But
It's not
there is
like
a
the other
bug.
ones you can sort of tell. This one seems like it's running at 60 FPS, but you can tell it's not like
Oh, it's like an
an
FMV.
it's like an FMV. Yeah, basically, it's just there's something about it where it's quite hard to tell, but you can sort of tell. But anyway, yeah, my 7-year-old PC has been running Death Stranded all right. It didn't run Senua's Sacrifice all right at all.
Oh.
It tanked with that.
I tried to run that on my PC which isn't that odd. And yeah, Hellblade has some issues running for me as well. So I don't know if it's the game. Runs on Switch, so I don't fucking think it should be.
Yeah, I'm not sure. But anyway, back to Ben Kerry's question. So we...
At what?
At what?
At Eye Shotgun
Oh,
Blues.
thanks.
Do you think the higher frame rate is going to be tough for Microsoft?
Yes.
Even on the Series X?
Yes, because, you run a game at 60 hits. They've designed this game at 60 FPS for Xbox One and Xbox One X. They've had that target for a while, and then they're like, oh, also, you got to do that on next gen and make it look better.
Yeah.
It's like, especially with Halo, because Halo's targeting so many different consoles, and it's not, it's not a next gen game. It's a next gen port of a current gen game. Yeah, it's made for Xbox One. It's been designed for Xbox One.
Is that an actual thing? So it's been designed for Xbox One and they're just basically...
Well, you gotta design it for the lowest common denominator first, otherwise it's gonna run like shit when you port it down.
Well, I thought they would just let it run like shit on the older console, because that's what they used to do. When they were doing back ports.
Yeah, that is what they used to do, isn't it? Games have really evolved. But,
Yeah, I mean, the thing is, though, like, from my perspective, and I don't know a lot, I am a dum-dum, as they call in the industry. I would have thought that because it's new hardware and it's more efficient hardware, from my understanding, it'll be easier for them on a resource level to make things run at 60 FPS 4K, especially if that's what they've designed the hardware to do.
Yeah, but also when it comes to Halo Infinite, the textures and models and everything are primarily designed for Xbox One. And they'll have higher quality ones, but you can't expect them to remake an entire game for next gen to make it look next gen. So these people who are complaining about, oh, Halo doesn't look next gen to me, that's because it's not.
Yeah.
It's like I'm trying to think of a game. It's like when Splosion Man came onto, because I remember this getting a lot of complaints is when Splosion Man, which isn't a AAA game, it was like an indie game in 2005, came from original Xbox to Xbox 360. It looked like an original Xbox game in HD, and I was like, well, yeah, it is.
I mean, I suppose that's what's impressive about the giant ugly logo of the optimized for Series X, is that they're actually trying to put work into it more than just
it's optimized.
Up-res it and call it a day.
It's optimized for Series X. It's not designed for Series X.
That's a key. That's a good point. Actually, I didn't ever think of that. Optimized entails that it's not for that console. It's
it is an
optimized
upgraded
they
version.
said at the end of the presentation, they said they have over 100 launch titles or 100 games that you'll be able to
Those
play.
slimy fuckers.
And it's true, but 90% of them are going to be optimized for Series X titles.
It's basically the equivalent of playing a slightly older title on your new PC.
Yeah.
Is what it is.
Yeah.
It's like going onto Steam and going, well, I want to play... I'm trying to think. Well, I suppose Senua's Sacrifice is... although that game looks incredible, so that's not a good example.
Some of these models do look rough.
What's that?
Some of these in-game models do look rough.
For Halo?
Yes. Oh, you ugly fucker.
The explosion effects, you can tell where they can really put effort in, though. The explosion effects, where it's all gas particles and actual effects, look so good. But that's because they can do that.
Yeah,
now.
it's you can very easily up-res these particle effects that you've made because you've down-res them for Xbox One. But whereas when it comes to models and stuff, model optimization is very hard. But I am going to put a picture in the chat.
So to
is it a bit
answer
crispy?
Ben Kerry's question, no, the answer is
yes.
It's going to be tough for Microsoft, right? Okay.
Yeah.
Especially with Halo.
Especially with Halo.
Yeah, that's quite bad.
Let's have a look, shall we?
I think the issue is that we've been people have gotten used to the graphical fidelity at 30 FPS.
Yes.
Oh wow.
And now that we're going up to 60, it's we're having to adjust some changes. So it's going to seem like it's not necessarily any harder to make games when you're not having to up-res them like Halo's doing, but it's going to look worse because you are making it smoother and making it like better in that regard.
And to touch on this screenshot,
Yes.
there's no compression going on there though, making that look worse, is there?
I mean, there's a little bit of compression because, like, I mean, look at the RB button, like prompt.
Yeah, so is that maybe making this look a lot worse then?
Not
I
much
think
worse.
that's just I think it's just a very bad model, to be honest. Like,
That could be, I mean, that's indicative of just who designed it though. That could be, you could design it for the Series X and you could still have a shite model.
I don't remember the brutes just looking like monkeys. They had hair, right?
It does look like something from the Planet of the Apes film.
It does. It looks like Tim Burton's Planet of the Apes.
Yeah, basically.
I just love how like miffed he looks as well. Just getting punched in the face, and he's like,
Oh, I'd be pretty miffed.
Expressionless, yeah.
One very interesting thing about Halo Infinite that I forgot to talk about is that the game isn't going to get a sequel.
All right.
Yes, it's the they're talking about this being like the end of the.
Yeah, so they're going to add new
Mainline.
stories to Halo Infinite and probably upgrade it over time. Like ray tracing is going to be an update after launch.
Man, was that an idea from the Windows team where they're just thinking Windows 10 is going to be the last version of Windows, but so is Halo Infinite going to be the last version of Halo?
Maybe that's why it's called Halo Infinite.
It's going to go on forever.
Slow clap.
It's gonna be the next Skyrim. It's gonna never end.
Oh, dude, we got a comment on our article about it getting ray tracing later. Do you want me to read it? This is from Sebastian Nadvorny, and he says, Halo without RT? It's not even funny. Game engine for 5 years in development, and today's demo still without RT, but with Xbox 360-like graphics. So sad.
So sad.
So sad.
So sad.
That's very sad.
Yeah. I mean, if it's going to run at 60 FPS, it's not going to be the best looker, is it?
No, but I think
Maybe they'll upgrade it over time. I kind of hope they do, because some of these models look a bit minging. But also, it's going to be so fast in motion that you're not really going to, like, notice it all that much while you're playing. Like, Halo 2 was not the prettiest game when it came out.
yeah.
Neither was Halo 3. Neither was Halo Reach. Halo Reach looked like smeared butt wipe.
But they're not really. I mean, they're easy to point out. Like the models look a bit garbo, but you very rarely just look around the battlefield after having killed everyone just to be like, "Oh, that model's a bit shit."
You
isn't
don't
it?
play games like me.
The game is not the game. It's how can I find the worst
Some
model.
people are saying the brutes look like Doomsday from Batman v Superman.
Jesus, that's something.
But, yeah. That was the MSPoweruser Gamescast, unless there's anything else you guys want to talk about.
No.
There was a trailer for Sable released
Yeah.
beforehand, and that just looks very nice. It's a very nice looking game.
It's a very pretty game. I thought it was already out until I saw the trailer in the pre-show. Anything you want to talk about, Phil?
Not particularly.
Then how about you plug your social media and other things?
Let's plug things then, eh? Wait, what did I do again?
You tweet.
I tweet. Oh yes.
You do the
handle-
tweeting.
The handle is @TWithPhil
Yeah.
on most platforms. I am also on Twitch these days doing streamy things.
He's very good.
Stream a little stream of me.
He's got a Pikachu.
There's a big chunky Pikachu that hangs out with me during my streams. So that's also @TWithPhil. You can come and just hang out with me on a Monday and a Tuesday. And I'll also pop up on various publications, including this one.
Do you?
I hope so.
Alex, do you want to...
Yeah, I'm at CTRLALX on Twitter, and other places too. and I'd write stuff on MSPoweruser occasionally when I hit my deadlines.
Oh, that's very rare.
Yeah.
Rare instance that you meet those hefty deadlines.
Yeah.
I did it the other day. It's
You
all good.
did?
Yeah.
Well,
It was only for like the little bit of the online section of Rock of Ages 3. But I
oh
wrote
yeah,
that.
you did do that.
I wrote that.
Yeah.
I love the confidence in your voice there. I wrote that.
And you can find me on Twitter at Lewis_D_Y. At what? You can find all of our stuff at MSPoweruser or at MSPU Gaming. And you should definitely rate us on iTunes or something, because nobody does that anymore. So just do it. Make me feel happy.
That's probably because no one listens to this podcast.
That's not true. I've got the reader numbers. They go up and they go down. They go down when you're on.
I'm glad.
But thank you very much for listening to the MSPoweruser Gamescast. Even if you don't listen to it, we'll be back in 2 weeks. So, see ya.
Au revoir.
Bye.